I'll send it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That'll move us to item number 2, roll call.
Nick?
Here.
Andres?
Here.
Joe?
Here.
Tom?
Yes.
Zach?
Yes, here. Item number 3, adopt the agenda. There was a
Don't be sniffing.
normal agenda, I guess, unless anybody had anything to add.
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
I'll second it. It
It
took too long.
Yep.
This one's
Nick?
mine.
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Andres?
Yes.
Zach?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
That'll move us to item number 4, public comments.
Nobody reached out.
Gotcha. And then item number 5, review meeting minutes from March 26, 2025. I didn't have any changes that I noticed.
No.
So then I'll entertain a motion to,
I move that we accept the minutes of March 26, 2025.
I'll second.
Nick?
Abstained, wasn't here, was absent.
Tom?
Yes.
Andres?
Abstained, sustained.
Pardon?
Be absent too? Yeah.
sustained.
Sustained.
Oh, abstained. That's the way we're happy with them.
Zach?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
That'll move us to item number 6, financial statements, March 2025.
I was gonna have barbecue me up, but
Oh, here I can, yep.
I don't know
Where'd you go?
if she
Over
can do it
here?
quick enough.
Oh, please.
Too slow.
560. Cannot access the file because it is being used by another process.
Open. Was open.
Is it down here? Oop, wrong one, sorry. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Put anything you want up there, Barb.
Okay,
I think you have to hit continue.
Yeah.
give me an X.
Still doesn't need to do that exit.
Went down to the March redemption.
Yeah, I did the bottom.
Yeah, the same thing. You gotta go off the touch it.
Listen, it's the Trinidad Ambulance District, not the Trinidad Computer District.
Yeah, Mr. IT.
You could at the top, where it says glacier.
His ball, 347 ball. Yeah. Good deal. Between that close. He called him.
Thank you.
He called him.
Thanks, just slow your roll.
Financial billing for March.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Oh, you broke it.
Uh-oh.
Just kidding.
The massive animal like that.
There's just some little highlights, nothing big there. Revenue for the TAD budget, we received $298,479.23. Expenses totaled just shy of $174,000 for a net income of $68,119.
Is this for March or January to February?
Oh, shoot!
Eagle March.
Didn't switch that one.
She hot burned you back.
Oh, she
This is
did.
because you said the slow thing.
Everybody gets one every so often.
Make sure
It's so rare.
Make sure it's reflected in the minutes.
I know. Corrected.
They get lucky usually. Total cash on hand is $3,536,862. I believe that was up about $100,000 from the previous month. So we're finally out of the red, back into
Nice.
the black, looking good.
Hold on, sir.
Thank you. Total trips for March, or for the year-to-date, 382. Gross charges, 1,178,360. Payments collected were 71,492, for a net collection rate of about 6.07%. And that was it, what was it, 2% less? March collections for 100 trips, gross charges of $309,772. Our average trip charge was $3,097. And our collections for March are $6,142, for a total of cash per trip or transport of $61. We need to be at about $1,300. So not nearly enough,
No,
but that'll come up.
yeah. Yeah, part of that is just
Yeah.
collections. in
And this
general.
is just our 12-month pair mix, and this is pretty close to what it was last month. Medicare and Medicare Advantage are the highest, Medicaid 23%, and then everything else just kind of falls in.
What's other government?
Like VA, that type,
TRICARE or whatever.
yeah, the other insurances.
So that last trip charge you had, that was $61, whatever, is that for both?
That was the average for March.
Is that for like any trip, any transport?
That's the average for the 100 transports that we did in March. That was the average number we collected.
Between internal and external transports?
This is our 12-month operation summary. So for 1,794 trips, our gross charges were 5.4 million. Our net charges were 3 million. We received $1 million in payments.
So
Average
was that
gross-
in, I'm sorry, was that in 2024?
No, it's 12 months.
It's your
Just going back.
projection.
12 months from March. No,
Rolling
that's
12
the
months.
previous, yeah,
Okay.
previous rolling 12 months.
Okay.
Average gross per trip was 3,000. Our average cash per trip was 579. Our net collection rate is 34.3%.
So, confused, so you have gross charges. What's the difference between gross charges and net charges? I'm confused.
So the gross charges are what we bill out. The net charges are what we get after contractuals.
So that's what insurance and Medicare and Medicaid takes off of. We bill them, but then they only pay X amount, and that's what the net charges are. So we're billing $2.4 million more than we're getting.
Okay.
And then the average cash per trip, so that's what we're getting on average for all of those calls is $579.
Which is standard, correct? Basically with Medicare.
Well, that's roughly what everybody's getting and what they're paying out. But like I said, to maintain our operation, we should be collecting about $1,300.
Per trip.
So,
Across the board, no matter if it's just inter-facility or just.
Right.
Right, yeah, just.
across the board,
Yeah,
to
per
break out
capita.
even, to maintain operations. That's without any kind of revenue whatsoever, it's just maintaining. That's all I
But it's
have.
also affected by the payer source as well, right?
What-
The average payment per trip.
Yeah, it
So-
varies. So, I don't know if I can go back with this.
That's always okay.
So if you go back to that 12-month rolling,
Uh-huh.
that was the difference. So Medicare was paying like 729 on average,
Uh-huh.
720 on average. Medicaid's only at 418 on average. So yeah, and you break it out per payer, it varies, but on average, between all the payers, what we're collecting is about 594.
So insurance facility and other government are paying pretty much where we need to have the pay. And then everything else is closer to what we're actually getting.
Right,
And most of our payer sources are Medicare, Medicaid.
yeah.
Of course, the insurance only wants to give you a certain.
So yeah, basically the private insurance is kind of what keeps us afloat because they pay almost full boat for the most part.
But you can see that that only accounts for 10% of our transports as
Right.
well.
And we're only collecting 50% of what we bill out to them. So,
Do they have standards too that you bill them 100, they're only gonna pay you 50?
no, yes and no. So you bill them, they pay a pretty large chunk, but that's where the balance billing comes in. So whatever they don't pay gets billed to the patient. And that's the bill that we were just sponsoring at the State House, trying to get rid of that portion, so that the insurances have to pay 100% of that amount, and the patients don't get billed anymore.
Is it still in limbo? or-
It's still live.
So it passed the House unanimously, and it's onto the Senate, and it's set for vote on the 24th.
Tomorrow.
Oh,
So hopefully that'll do it.
that's just Colorado, though. That's not nationwide.
This is Colorado.
Hmm. Good.
Help.
That's all I got.
So I move we accept the financial statements of March 2025. Good.
Are you
Yeah.
making a motion?
Yeah, we need-
I move we accept the financial statements of 2025.
Is that,
Sorry.
Yeah,
is that your motion?
Yeah, that
Yes.
was easy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Wait a second.
I'll second it. I really shouldn't keep seconding.
I was on the short timers doing that, yeah.
We're short timing, dude.
I'll try anything twice. So.
They're already out.
Okay, so Nick,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Andres?
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Then that will move us on to item number 7, old business.
I don't have anything.
How'd the roof go? I think the last time we were here, they were working on it.
We're fixing some issues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
It's all cool. It's all cool. Fixing some issues.
Cool question. I see fence all around. Is that ours?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So in that, I think we kept that like 5 feet within the property line or so, but that's ours.
No, most people.
Do we have to keep animals out or just?
It was just to kind of break it up a little bit, because Tony Paradisa and his family own everything around us. So it was just to kind of break up and let people know this is our area.
Okay.
And it kind of keeps the riffraff out a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
You got in.
I had a hard time getting in.
We approached from the opposite side.
What happened with the roof?
There were some leaks.
Yeah, that's,
There's some new leaks
yeah.
that weren't there before.
Yeah, usually they shouldn't be there.
Said this was a new roof and that should not happen.
Yeah.
No,
It's
this
kind of antithetical to what roofs do.
Yeah, we're coming down to fix those.
Cool. Okay. Any other old business? And that would move us on to item number 8, new business. Everybody's so quiet now.
Moving right along.
Yeah, then that will
Moving right along.
move us on to item number 9, director's report.
You be up, Barbara?
You got it. Which one,
Very-
April or March?
April.
April? Well, we are in April.
This
We are
is
in
the April board meeting.
It is April, I think.
It's almost May.
It's been long enough into the month for me.
It does literally take all 3 of us to survive.
Well, it's like March
I
minutes,
hope no
March
iPhones go out, so-
financial statements.
You don't bring
Guess we'll have plenty of people to hold the letter.
So I did make us have
No.
4.
Great. Medical direction, no updates. Dr. Becker likes to teach, so I'm sure he'll start coming down if the weather's getting better. But nothing right now. Zach reached out yesterday, actually, and he said there's little to no activity, and they've got a blast campaign to residential brokers, so we'll see if that opens up something.
Whatever happened to the county? Did they ever really truly have interest in it, or are you just really just talking nonsense?
If we were gonna donate it,
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Another
yeah.
medic.
Yeah, I'll take it too. You're gonna donate it,
Yeah, I mean, I could use a huge building if you're just,
I just need the garage, dude. That's all I need.
yeah.
If I was gonna do that, I'd use it. Donate it to myself.
Yeah.
Health Service District, so the county responded and now we've got to file an opening brief, so there's nothing to report there. Our AFG grant still remains pending, and our state EMTS grant, we're waiting for the SEMTAC review, which should come up in the next month or so. I haven't seen the schedule. So we'll take the RETAC review, which we did last month, and the SEMTAC review, and that's about 50% of the score on both sides.
Any grant issues, money that you're worried about?
No,
Everything okay?
yep,
Nightmare on my side, so.
no, we're doing good. I'm happy.
Good.
We failed to do the safety cloud report last month, so I pulled it this month. This is the driver alerting that we installed in all the ambulances.
Nice.
So for the month of March, we alerted 1,305 drivers. Our responder alerts, we sent 18 and we received 20. The reason that number's off is if somebody else has an alerting system, like if CSP has one and it activated one of ours, then we received more than what we sent out. We had 145 total incidents, an average on-scene time of 17 minutes, which is a little long. Our total responding time was 1,121 minutes. Our average time to scene is 7.3 minutes, which isn't terrible given we cover 3,000 square miles or so. It's just a cool little picture for you visual people.
I can't, the visual part in the middle gets a little.
It's a little jumpy.
What happened to that? It looked good on my computer. I think this computer is too big. So some meeting and updates. So the week of March 27th, whatever the start of that week was Wellness Week. So we had a bunch of wellness webinars, one every day. Our staff trained the Trinidad Police Explorers on Stop the Bleed on March 29th. March 31st through April 4th, Deputy Chief DeTrey and I were at the EMS Financial Symposium and National EMS Safety Summit up in Denver, and that was great. We made some new contacts. March 31st, I did the Critical Access Whole Blood Committee. That was our first meeting, so not a whole lot was accomplished in that. Again, every Friday we're on the Advocacy Committee, so this Friday we'll have the update on the balance billing bill, kind of see where that ends up. April 7th, we had the naloxone projects training and we rolled it out that week. So people can request a free Narcan kit now from us. We have 100 on hand to give out to anybody that wants one. April 8th, I was on the Colorado Whole Blood Coalition. They were getting ready to roll out whole blood in Delta County, I think. So there's 4 areas now that are doing whole blood in the state.
Nice.
We also did our streamlined kickoff meeting that day, so that's for the new website. April 12th, we did the RAD planning call. That's the annual bike race. Gearing up for that. We usually staff roving, ALS rig, another ALS rig, and then a bunch of QRTs. April 18th, we did the Financial Future MIH webinar and EMS advocacy. Today we had the Colorado Emergency Preparedness Assessment meeting to get that rolling. And then Bubba and I sat in on the Ground Ambulance Data Collection System Data and Strategy webinar. And they didn't really have anything new to report other than what I presented 2 meetings ago.
And what was cool was that was across the nation, and one of the guys that was speaking that did pretty much the same presentation was at the conference we were at in Denver.
Oh, nice.
So it was good.
So it's quick and short, and then some EMS incidents and service closures. Riverside County, ambulance crashed into a palm tree, breaking apart on impact. That was actually pretty gruesome. That box just splintered
Really?
in the pictures.
Yeah. Wow.
Indiana, trains carrying ambulance struck a bicycle carrying 2 young girls. 1 died, other injured. Illinois, 3 individuals injured in a collision with an ambulance at a busy intersection. California, ambulance responding to an emergency call involved in a collision. And Michigan, an ambulance collided with a deer. And I just bring those up because we're looking at, so the 911 board purchased Priority Dispatch a couple years ago. And that's supposed to send out a code that tells our crews how to respond, emergent or non-emergent. The nation as a whole is starting to push reducing light and siren response for this reason. And so I pulled up some headlines that happened from our last board meeting to today, just to kind of highlight
I
some of
told
the
you,
issues.
Grady was already, I've worked cardiac arrests sitting at a red light in Atlanta because we were already to the point of not running lights and sirens unless you got ROSC. And so I fully support it. When we have to, but it's like, if we can avoid it, if at all possible, then I think it's great. It's something definitely that I think we were starting to catch on to when I was still on the ambulance.
And we did a really good job of already reducing light and sirens returns to the hospital. This is, now we're starting to look at responding to calls, like the slip and falls that happened 2 days ago, and there's no reason to respond lights and siren to that. Stuff like that we're looking at.
Nice.
I've lived on Main Street for 40 years and I'm shocked that more people haven't just been run over. I mean, they fly by
Right.
at times.
Right.
It's astonishing.
Yeah.
So it's a good step. It's a step in the right direction. It's like, can't be that big. Good deal,
Yeah. I see it out my office window.
but
Just a blur, right?
like, wow, I hope nobody's in the way, or dog or
Right.
cat or
Right.
a person or.
Yeah, we're trying to reduce some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Ambulance service closures, so I think this was the agency that I reported on last month as well, it popped up again. This ambulance service, ProMed Ambulance, they weren't able to because of a 25% pay cut, so they don't have the staff. And that's just due to collections being down, cost of living, everything's up, they can't pay their staff enough, so they're closing, staffing shortages, nationwide trends. 60% of agencies have insufficient staffing to meet 911 call demands. Contributing factors, long shifts, low pay, limited career advancement opportunities. Pittsburgh, they're trying to address EMT shortages by doing new training programs. Speaking of new training programs, we're looking at partnering with one of the RETACs to help assist with an EMT course. So the Southeast RETAC and the Southern RETAC want to partner and do like a hybrid EMT course and utilize all of the agency's instructors to put on an EMT course. So we're looking at that to help address some shortages. And then Georgia, staffing shortages led to ambulance delays. This is just nationwide stuff.
It's here in our county, so Nikki Shannon that runs the Kim ambulance and Kim, she's down to one person again, herself. So.
Herself.
Herself. That's who she is.
crazy.
So that's one of the big pushers behind the CMT class, and so, and obviously they're on an island because they're a ways from Lahana, from Springfield, or from us, so. And we'll do everything we can to help her, we always do, but it's a long ways.
Funding challenges, Connecticut Medicaid cuts. So a proposed $8 million cut to Medicaid reimbursements could lead to reductions. We're looking at that as well in Colorado, and that'll come up on the next slides. New York State grant delays, same thing, delay on grants. further closures. And then EMS national funding struggles. EMS agencies across the country are just facing financial strain and low reimbursement, so. Colorado EMS headlines. Rye Fire Chief resigns over expired EMS license. Denver assisted living facility explosion. Our EMS day at the Capitol highlight, that was based around the balanced billing, due to decrease in, or the impacts of the Gallagher Amendment and the taxpayer bill rates. Like I said, that passed the House unanimously and it's on to the Senate, so if it passes the Senate, then it goes to the governor for signature. So we've got our fingers crossed, we're looking good there. And then potential loss of Medicare reimbursement. So this is a nationwide thing. Every year, can't remember what they call it, but every year they basically just kick the can down the road. The Medicare reimbursements expire. They put it into some kind of funding bill. They pass it for another 6 months or another year or whatever the case is. So back in February or March, they
Extenders.
Yeah, the Medicare extenders, thank you. So this last February or so, they put it in another spending bill. It got passed and extended to September. So what this does for us, because we're super rural, is we get an extra 22% on Medicare reimbursements, whereas the urban populations only get 2% or 3%. And so if we were to lose this, we would take a 22% reduction in Medicare rates, and that would just kill us. So our $700 and some we're getting would be reduced by 22%. So that's just something to mention. April 18th, North Park Hospital District ambulance was involved in a crash. Both crew members were injured. Colorado's facing significant EMS funding challenges due to expiration of pandemic era funding. And then the Ground Emergency Medical Transport Program, which is the Medicaid supplemental program that I do every year, and we get a little bit of money back from Medicaid. There's a risk to that going away. And with the state being in their $1 billion deficit or whatever it's at now, they're looking at cutting the Medicaid funding even more. So that's what I have for that.
Oh, Debbie Downer.
That's an unfortunate answer to my question from last meeting.
It really goes through some of the lives of the
It started off at a low ebb and it's just gone down.
I think they're gonna get better, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
It's possible, but this is definitely a good picture of preliminary.
Well, and that's kind of the point, is nationwide, it looks dire and we need to make some changes, but locally, we're doing good. We've got a really good operation, our budget's looking good, we're in the black, our cash on hand has increased from last month. So we're doing a good job with what we're doing here.
For sure. We're just dealing with the nationwide struggle.
Thanks for visiting.
He's a cool kid over there with his little computer.
It's a big
I got so much crap for not having a PowerPoint last weekend. So here we go.
He has visual aids.
Visual aids.
Good,
because I didn't bring any paper, so I better work.
We spent the whole time after he did his thing last month telling him that we didn't remember any of it because he didn't have any visual aids.
Oh boy. You can have some movies, some cartoon characters.
Nice.
Maybe some pictures.
Yeah, so maybe even some moving pictures.
Some movie pictures.
That sounds crazy. Okay, and so that moves us on to item number 10, Operations Fleet Report. You look so confident.
Oh, look at that.
He just stole the stickers that I sent him, is all he did.
Can I see your clicker?
Well, this one?
Oh man, he's moving into territory now.
That doesn't count.
All right, here we go.
I bet he's
All
got
right, look at that
choreography.
picture.
Look at that.
Oh, look, here we go. Calls for service.
Let's go back to the beginning again.
Good job, good job. This guy sent all the pictures.
Yeah.
I know he can do it by himself. 177 calls for service, that's
Put it
about,
into AI and said, make me a PowerPoint.
hey, a win's a win.
Yeah, there's a Trinidad and Tobago
We're down for
picture
12.
coming up.
Sorry, dude, you.
It's got visual aids and everything, and we're still good. I'm here for
Never
it,
ends. Any questions?
All right, sorry, you're good to go.
All right, so our third out unit had 2 calls with 2 transports. Chief didn't do anything last month. I did 2 escorts for the state basketball teams.
What'd you do?
27 IFTs, we were down 4. All our transfers were taken. That's for our El Presidente, and no transfers from home. Total for the year is 82. Last month's mileage, even though we were down 4 transfers, we were up miles by about 40 some. So ended up with, I think, 2 trips to Denver. Total year to date, 16,792. We have 6 trucks in service. We got 1 that we just been prolonging getting the AC fixed by other things that have been cropping up on the other trucks, but it is running. Got kind of some bad news yesterday. Angie went and saw the surgeon, and they may have missed something, or have potentially another tear. And they're gonna try some more injections, do another MRI. At this time, they might have to fuse that joint in her thumb. Unknown time that she'll be out. We have put Eric Mitch Dixie, multiple nicknames, as our interim lieutenant until Angie returns. Wheelchair van was donated on the hospital on April 10th.
Where's that picture?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, where's the picture of that? I need a
I feel
visual
like
of this
I'm having
van.
a hard
Our
time
motivational
visualizing the
interviewing
van.
class will be held between 15
In
to
the
16.
wheelchair.
Yeah.
I need to visualize the wheelchair.
Yeah, is the van, is
open
the
this
van
door,
tall
dude.
enough to
I'm
have
just
a
saying, you
wheelchair
open
in
this
it?
door.
You know what?
I'm supposed to know.
Yeah.
Next
Is it a
time,
motorized wheelchair?
Next
I
time-
need to know.
Those
next
are
time I'll
tall.
do my freaking report in crayons.
Next
Big
month,
Chief, no
next
cap?
month, and they're old.
I'll get you a
Over
whiteboard.
here, whiteboard.
Yeah, a little white,
Yeah,
little one,
whiteboard.
little guy.
Thank you.
So motivational interviewing class still set up for
Thank you.
next month. We already have 14 of the 21 slots filled. Trinidad Police Department, DHS, and DOC will be attending besides our staff. We'll be opening that up to Warfno County as well, so hope to have those filled.
Can you make it smaller?
That's a visual aid
For some reason. There's a lot of abbreviations.
With that, I return your time.
I
Wait for it to
yield
start
myself.
scrolling, like the end of a movie or
I
something.
know. Yeah, wait, yeah, I didn't see my name in that last slide. Yeah.
My goodness.
Should be good, pretty good.
Where are we at?
All right, yeah, that moves us on to
Most dolls
11.
was pictures on the front,
Yeah.
slide and nothing in the rest.
Well, maybe we did the, like, how many in
Yeah, like
were
fire-
operational could be one of the broken up old ambulances.
Fireworks shows usually have a finale.
We'll work on that on the next one. Off stick figures.
Yeah, nice. I mean, that's extra points if you draw it yourself. That's crazy. Item number 11, miscellaneous.
I don't have anything.
Yeah, I didn't have anything that I didn't cover in old business.
to make it last 25 more minutes so I can get out at 5. Otherwise, I'm not doing work.
But this,
Say if you want, I
Can we,
mean,
do you want to see that
That's
last?
cool.
It says you were doing nothing wrong. Well, according to Dave's report, you didn't do anything last week.
I didn't get to see the last slide very much. It was-
thank you.
Really?
And that moves us on to item number 12, our next regular meeting date, which I have I don't have anything. Is it May 21st?
28.
Oh, 28th.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Sweet. Then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Dave, I work for the day.
Yeah, come
Come on,
in with the
Andres.
close.
Second it.
I'll second that.
Nice.
You guys stepped it
Wow,
up.
yeah.
See how fast these meetings go when you don't talk less?
Nick,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Andres.
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, times are tough, so we had a little pre-meeting and we're like, we can't let Les get a full hour.
Exactly, that's right.
Like, it's
Take
going
it over the
to break us.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah, the 40,000 illegal